Hello, everybody. Yes, it's me, Factosaurus. I'm back now. Yay! Where have I been in my however many months it was hiatus? That's my information to know, not yours. But with my grand return to the YouTube platform, I figured there was no better way to do it than to finally, after 3 months, give my opinion. Finally, my review on Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, this is going to be a sort of podcast type thing. Nothing is scripted. You may notice cutting a lot, and that's because this is unscripted, as I just said. It's gonna be a podcast type thing, like no video at all. It's just gonna be me talking. Occasionally, I'll throw up a picture to let you guys understand what it is I'm talking about in the movie. So what else do YouTubers do? Spoilers! There's gonna be spoilers in this video. If you're watching this, chances are you've probably seen it, because once again, it's been like, shoot, I've already forgotten. It's already been 3 months, there we go, I got it, since this movie came out. So if you're a Jurassic fan, which I assume you are, then you've probably already seen the movie. But for those of you who somehow haven't yet, spoilers going forward from now on. So let's get into it. Where to begin? Where to begin? I'm trying to debate right now. Do I want to talk about the characters or the plot first? Let's do characters. Characters are important for the plot anyway. We should know them first. So, despite this being titled Jurassic World, it is completely separate character-wise from the previous trilogy. So Chris Pratt, gone. Bryce Dallas Howard, gone. Franklin's character, gone. They're all flown away. They're never gonna see them again until Jurassic World Rebirth 3, when they come back with more locusts. So, we have a ton of new characters in this movie, all of which we have never seen before. Suppose we should talk about the main one that I'm 90% sure everybody knows about. Zora Bennett, Scarlett Johansson's character. She's the worst character in the movie that's part of the mercenary team. Yeah, everybody thought she was probably going to be the best. She was not. Scarlett Johansson plays a character called Zora Bennett, and she is a mercenary who does mercenary things. I don't know anything about mercenaries. We're gonna play the guessing game now. I'm 99% sure, not 100, because I'm not that confident. I'm 99% sure that mercenaries are kind of like, they're like hired, they're like assassins, right? But yeah, that's her character, and she's been tasked to go on one last big final mission through by another character named Martin Krebs, which we will get to in just a second. But Zora has some real tragic backstory where her brother, I think, like blew up from a car somewhere. And she also didn't go to her mother's funeral. Wow. Evil. I don't like her anymore. That's basically it. That's Scarlett's entire character. But guess what? She's not the only one, because there's more than one. There's like 4. And the other 3, who do we want to start with? Let's start with Martin Krebs, because Martin Krebs is an important one. Yep. Martin Krebs is the, I don't know what he is. He works for Parker Genetics, though, which is the new big pharmaceutical company. This isn't Biosyn. Remember that. Not. This is a completely different company. And they want a lot of monies to cure heart disease, but they need this for plot reasons that I'm gonna save until it's plot time, where we talk about the plot in the plot section, where I summarize the plot. That's it. That's his whole character. He's big big pharma guy, and he wants monies, and yeah, and then there's Duncan Kincaid. He is a good character. Approval. He's also a mercenary. At one point, I believe he's one of Zora's friends. I've only seen this movie twice, and they were both of those times were in July, so it's been a while. I should have made this video earlier. It's literally like maybe 4 days before you're seeing this when this was recorded. This is a long time ago. When I saw the movie. But Duncan, I want to say, is also a mercenary. But he's a good mercenary who didn't not go to his mother's funeral. I think his mom's still alive. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think they ever touch on that. But for the sake of it, his mom's alive and not in a casket where he didn't see her. Yep. And he also did not have a brother who blew up. However, he has a son that died. At least that's what they imply. He's very protective around the children, which we'll get to in just a second, in this movie. And the reason he is because the movie implies that, like, he also has a big tragic backstory. Oh, we love him so much. Oh no, his kid died. I feel, Big D. I feel. Yeah, Duncan is a very well-played character. He's a good one. Alright, I'm moving on. I can't describe my thoughts clearly unless it's about a dinosaur. So let's speed through these other characters. Dr. Henry Loomis. Best one. Phenomenal. Great job. They got the double approval on that one, yeah. Dr. Henry Loomis is the paleontologist, the Alan Grant character of this film. Do you hear the cute little fighter jets flying overhead? Okay, they're gone now. I can continue talking. Dr. Henry Loomis is the paleontologist character of the film, as I was saying. He also has a backstory. Nobody remembers it, but I do, because I'm one of them detail seekers. Yep. He worked at... Shoot, this is not looking good for my credibility. He worked, at least I remember, I think, he worked as a postdoc under Alan Grant. I don't know, he was a student of some kind to us, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's what he is. And he likes dinosaurs. He's like me. He likes dinosaurs, and it's really cool. Because, like, half of the movie is just him being like, dinosaur fact. Yep. You know, it doesn't look like it for you, but for me, there's like 30 seconds in between each cut that you see most of the time. So by the time I figure out what I want to say, I've forgotten where I left off, so... Yeah, he's a character, isn't he? This is not my strong suit. I don't know how to talk about characters because I'm not entirely sure what makes a good one because I'm oblivious to bad writing. So maybe... Look, he shouldn't upload this. I've forgotten what I was talking about. He's a good character. He does like a joke that I remember, and both times when I went to see it, I giggled. Nobody else did. He basically made a joke. He was talking, as they're walking through the island, he has a conversation with Duncan, right? And Duncan asks him, how would you want to die? He goes, honestly, if I had to choose, I'd die in a river and be quickly buried by sediment. And that was a good one. That was funny, but apparently we don't have any other dinosaur nerds. It's just people. Even the I went there on opening day. I'd expect at least one. Apparently, most Jurassic Park fans are, and also paleontology fans, which, that hurt my soul just a little bit. But I thought that was a funny joke. That was maybe the highlight. Interesting fact though, with the music, Jonathan Bailey, who plays the character, during one of the scenes with the Titanosaur scene, his character goes up to touch one, and there's a clarinet solo in that section. And he is actually the one playing it. Isn't that something? That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And his whole motivation for wanting to go is money. And also, he doesn't want to just be a guy who visits zoos, He wants to be able to see dinosaurs out in the wild. Which, fair. That's a good point. And then they all start heading out. And, those are all the characters. All of them. There's no other ones. In all honesty, I don't hate the family. They're not that bad. There's 4 more I had to talk about. I'm 16 minutes into this recording. It's not even that long for you, probably. I've just waited so long because I'm not quite sure how to formulate sentences. But the family, there's the Delgados. There's Ruben, who exists. He's the dad, and he likes his children, but not the boyfriend, Xavier. I'm the only one who remembered that guy's name for some reason, and I don't know why. Everybody else I've talked to about this movie has zero clue what his name was, and I'm not quite sure why that one slipped through everybody, but, I've got very quiet there. I don't know why. I'll get louder again so you can hear me properly. Xavier. He's a character. He's not a good person per se. He has damp weed, which was the drug reference. Remember when the reason for the PG-13 rating was first revealed and it said a drug reference? When I was going to see other movies in the theater, the little green thing that pops up and that says the rating underneath. When I saw the drug reference in there, that's how I knew that trailer was about to come on every time. That's so funny. He's the one who makes a drug reference. He goes, I have some weed. It's a little damp, but... Yeah, he almost dies taking a pee, but, yeah, that was a scene. I hate that scene. We'll get to why I hate it later. Then there's Teresa and Isabella. Teresa... And Isabella carries around the little baby Aqualops named Dolores. And, yeah, she's the child, so she exists to make it seem like there's more danger when there's not. That's her whole purpose. That's her role in this film, is to add more danger. We got through all the characters. We did it! Yay! All the characters, there's other characters, but that's just code for dinosaur food. So, yeah. Let's get on to the plot, and I will discuss each scene throughout this. So that's what the rest of this video is going to be for the most part until the end, where there will be a special surprise. So if you've made it to this, 12-minute mark at this point, if you've made it through 12 minutes of me saying random bullcrap with no real meaning behind it, then good on you. You have a better attention span than most people these days. But secondly, now you know, if you're a fan of me, which you're probably not given the amount of work I'm putting into this thumbnail. Oh yeah, that's a good thumbnail right there. With the amount of work I'm putting into this thumbnail, there's going to be a lot of random people who've never seen my face before. And maybe even as a fan, you haven't. I mean, for the first couple of videos I was doing, A green screen that had my face in it. I don't most people didn't see those. There was that 1 year video I did, which was in the same space. That was my face too. I'm getting off track. Yeah. It's plot time, where I summarize the plot in the plot section. Okay, the movie begins in the this new island, Ile Saint Hubert. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna be special on the internet. I'm gonna say it the French way, not the way everybody else wants to. It's not the Isle of Saint Hubert. It's Ile Saint Hubert. I'm not even entirely sure if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, but it sounds cooler than Saint Hubert. Hubert is not a great name. Apologies to all Huberts watching this video. So yeah, the movie begins on Ile Saint Hubert in the year 2010. I want to say it's either 2010 or 2011. The movie doesn't specify. Still hasn't when it takes place. It was either 2027 or 2028, but we'll get to a section in just a second where it was very clear that the editors did not know that. So, it begins on this InGen research facility on the secret island near Barbados that we'd never heard of before until now. And this lab, this whole island is like a big research facility, not for the original Jurassic Park, like the trailers wanted you to believe. I know, dad, gummit. Oh, shucks. It's actually for Jurassic World. And from the looks of it, it is the continuing research on how to make hybrids. These shouldn't be the first hybrids, because if I'm remembering the lore correctly, the Scorpius Rex was born in the year 2009, and at the bare minimum, the scene takes place in 2010. And maybe even 2011, depending on when you think this movie takes place. So, don't know why the hybrids, and they're hybrids, yes they are, stop gaslighting yourself. They're not mutants. That's a velociraptor with pteranodon wings. That's a hybrid. Get over it. So yeah, in this lab they're doing research for the hybrids, and there's currently two that they have there. There's the Mutodon and the Distortus Rex. And the D-Rex is going to end up causing all of these poor little workers a very bad day. And, oh boy, is this horrible. This scene could have been a great opening if it was well planned. You want to know how the D-Rex escapes? Do you want to know? Do ya? You won't believe me, unless you've seen the movie, which again, you probably have at this point. But if you haven't, then buckle in. We're in for a whole world of nonsense. Okay, so they're going into the D-Rex's enclosure that it's currently inside of. Don't know why, but they are. And one of the guys, one scientist, he's eating a Snickers bar. This is important. Listen up. Snickers is important, I promise you. And one of them is like, come on, get in here. He's like, okay, yeah. He's rushing to get in. And he just willy-nilly throws the wrapper on the ground. Why is there food allowed in the science lab? You can't even have food in the frickin' 6th grade science class. Like, you are not gonna, there's no way you can bring food into this high-tech type of thing where you're making literal new organisms. There's no way. But despite all this, for movie purpose, he gets into the job one day. He gets into work eating Snickers. And once he's finished with all that, he's quickly hurrying, he drops it on the ground. Now guess what happens next? As they're walking in to the D-Rex enclosure, and it starts closing, for some reason there's this little air vent that likes to suck everything up. And the wrapper goes inside, causes not just the door to malfunction, the whole thing. The whole friggin' lab, every building on this island shuts down. It's like, emergency! There's red lights blaring everywhere, toxic fumes. I think, I'm not sure, there's like gas in the enclosure for some reason. I don't know, Godzilla 2014 vibe, I guess. And yep, the Snickers wrapper is the inciting incident. A Snickers wrapper. This is a horrible scene. This might be the worst scene in any friggin' movie I've ever seen. Except maybe War of the Worlds. Yeah, that wasn't great. But my point stands. This is horrible. Who approved this? Who gave the green light on this and told them it's ignorant? That's the thing that happens. It's not. And I don't see how anybody could ever like this. There's zero way. Like, this is an awful, awful scene. It makes no sense. Are you kidding me? Some folks. Yeah. But, the D-Rex escapes. The red smoke is everywhere. It kills the guy who ate the Snickers wrapper. And then the logo floods in. And then the music and everything. Then we get some subtitles that say 32 years since dinosaurs came back. And this is the part where it's very clear that they had no idea, the editors, that this movie takes place in the future. It's either 2027 or 2028. I still don't really know. The movie never specifies. It says 32 years later, which is true if it was taking place in the modern day, but it's not. So yeah. And then we get the information that dinosaurs cannot survive outside anymore because, nobody can. Like, dinosaurs finally learned that touching grass is a truly despicable action, so they just straight up and killed themselves to avoid it. Fair play, fair. I'd do the same. This is a joke. Don't kill yourself. It's just grass. It's not that bad. But yeah, it's here where we meet all our characters. Zora Bennett is hired by Martin Krebs to come with him to retrieve DNA from the 3 largest dinosaurs across land, sea, and air. And he also recruits Dr. Henry Loomis as the paleontological supervisor. And yes, why did I get so close to the camera? Why did I give you a little smooch when I went to say dinosaurs? Well, it's because only one of them is a dinosaur, and not even once does a paleontologist character ever have anything to say about it. In fact, he calls them dinosaurs, too. Like, the only one there is Titanosaurus. There's the 3, on land you have Titanosaurus, in the sea you have Mosasaur, and in the air there's Quetzalcoatlus. Problem numero uno is that Quetzalcoatlus is a pterosaur, not a dinosaur. I feel like we should have learned this by now, Jurassic. Come on. Mosasaurus is a giant aquatic squamate. It's not a dinosaur. Titanosaurus actually is a dinosaur. It's not valid anymore, so you still lose points for that. Like, how hard would it have been to use Argentinosaurus? Sure, its name isn't as marketable, but, like, come on. I've never met a dinosaur kid who doesn't know what Argentinosaurus is. Some of my friends, none of my friends are into dinosaurs at all. None of them. But they know what Argentinosaurus is because I think Ark Survival Evolved or something. I'm not sure. But they even know what it is. I think you would have been fine, Universal. Getting off topic. Yeah. So they recruit them all to go. And while they're in, this whole thing takes place, and I want to say New York City. I don't remember. But in over the radio when Zora and Martin are in the car together, it says a dinosaur called Bronto Billy has escaped the city zoo and is now roaming the streets. And it says specifically that it is a Brachiosaurus. However, they show a sauropod walking through the streets. Of course, this I want to say should be the same one as the one that's been spoken about. But that's an Apatosaurus that is in this scene. There's no Brachiosaurus in this movie ever. So I don't know if that was just a mistake on the script writer's part or if they changed the CGI model like halfway through. I'm not sure. It's a small error. We never see this Apatosaurus again. And we never see Apatosaurus again in this movie either, so it's fine. I guess it's excusable. Also, reference. There's a school bus that says Crichton Middle School. Reference. Isn't that funny? Did you remember that one? You remember that? He wrote the book. He did the thing. Remember, guys? People are gonna think I'm like mentally ill if I keep this up. Let's move on. Then they go to Duncan Kincaid because they need a big boat to get over, and he also knows about this island somehow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the reason they're all going is because they have deep pockets. Get it? Get it? It's a reference. It's a reference, guys. Remember in Jurassic Park 3 when Paul Kirby said to Alan Grant, he said, "You want I have a lot of I could put numbers on the zeros. Do you remember, guys? Do you remember that one? He did the thing in the movie and remember. So they recruit Duncan because he has a boat, and in the scene, like the craziest thing I've ever seen pops up. They're pulling up a fishing net, like in the background. These characters mean nothing, but like there's a fishing boat. Pulls up this big net, and it's got a lot of fish. At first, I'm like, that's a lot of fish. And then they open it, and out comes the head of a Dunkleosteus. That was a good one. That was actually very surprising. I went in the theater. I went full soy jack mode on that one, and it was cool. It was cool. I like that. That was awesome. Then they get the boat, and they get to a search-in. Yep. And then we cut to the family, all those characters. Then we get to the family, as I was saying, before I started dying. And they're going to Cape Town, I think, if I remember. Is that correct? Editing me, tell me. Thank you, editing me, that was helpful. They're going to this place, and it's their summer vacation, right? This dad is trying to take all his two daughters on this nice big final trip, which apparently they do every year, for one last hoorah. Because Teresa's going off to college, I think. Yep. And he gets all tired because he's been steering for like 8 years or something. And then Xavier comes out and he's like, "What's up, bro?" And then I can only imagine what it's like for somebody who's never seen this channel before. Even for people who have, like, this is probably ridiculous. but yeah, Xavier doesn't want to steer the boat, so dad character Ruben, he goes, "Oh, it's fine. Just go back in." He goes, "Thanks, muchacho." That was only a little racist, it's fine. But then little daughter Isabella sees some little things out in the water. Sails? You know what that means. Spinosaurus! Ah! Yep, that was cool. So yeah, they see the Spinosaurus in the distance, but then they get sideswiped by the new Mosasaurus, which looks so good. I love it so much. It's amazing. It's so great. I absolutely love this design. We'll talk about the designs of all the dinosaurs more in depth later on. So great. But yeah, the boat tips underwater. Xavier and everybody's got to get out. Really cool shot. I hope I can find it. If it is, then here it is. This great shot of the boat with the Mosasaurus silhouette in the background. It is so good. But yeah, they escape and send out an SOS signal. For the boat with Duncan and Scarlett and Henry, all the characters, they're moving across the ocean to get to the new island. And he's explaining things, Martin is, about how dangerous it is. There's a bunch of species that have survived there in isolation with no fences and everything. Then they pick up the SOS signal right as they're about to track the Mosasaur. And Duncan says, "Halt!" Because we just, earlier, Scarlett and Duncan had the most forced trauma dump I've ever seen in my life. It is so ridiculous. It's very forced. It's just two people going, "I suffer." Me too, yo. #black. Duncan cares very much about life and saving it, I guess. So he's like, "We gotta turn around. We gotta go save those people." And so they do. They get them on the boat. They get them all nice and dry. And Harry's like, "What attacked you?" And they go, "It was like there's a big thing in the water." And he starts going, "Snake-like body, downward tail fluke. Oh my gosh, it has to be the Mosasaurus, guys." And then they're like, yeah. Where did it go? By the way, earlier in the movie they said they put a tracking device on the Mosasaur when it escaped captivity. I'm gonna go on a rant for a second. Every YouTuber under the sun, for some reason, thought that meant they were retconning the design of the Jurassic World Trilogy Mosasaur. Why? There's zero reason to think that. Sure, I guess, like, it did escape. It tracked it when they did the thing. But, like, come on. Is it that hard to think that they made another one and it escaped there as well when they abandoned the island because the friggin' Snickers wrapper is the true villain of this film? The Snickers wrapper let out the Mosasaurus, okay? And that's why. It's a new one, alright? That's the point I'm trying to make. Anyway, yeah, then the hunt for the first of the three big creatures begins, and that's the Mosasaurus. And this might be one. It's not the best. There's definitely a best, but this is probably second place. This was a really, really good scene that I enjoyed very much. The Mosasaur design, as I said earlier, absolutely phenomenal. So much better than the old one. It's more accurate, which means it's better. Yeah. Sure, it's a little fat and whale-like, which, mosasaurs weren't. They were lizardy, because they were lizards. That's what they were. But, overall, it's a lot better. They gave it the actual tail fluke that real mosasaurs did have, took away all the osteoderms. It's just such a good design overall. Absolutely loved it. It was so good. But yeah. And then, yeah, as they're doing it, it's like bumping into the boat. Oh, wait, I have a much better idea for this. Hold up, wait, I'll be right back.
2,000 years later.
Okay, I'm back, and we're gonna explain this scene with visuals! I know, I said there'd be no videos in here of the film, and there won't be. That's because I have a physical model. Yeah. Here we have the boat that they're all in. The chase begins. They're going across the water, right? But then, here comes Mosasaur. Right, like bites the boat, right? Yum, 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 yum. This thing is loud when it chomps. So then they like shoot a bullet. It goes, oh. But no, wait, I meant they actually missed. We don't hit it yet. We don't hit that yet. That's later, all right? So they're going. This is so stupid. We're going across the water. They shoot, they miss, and then it's like, oh crap. Then it disappears. Oh wait, shoot, it disappears. Where are they going? Breach! Wait! This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Oh my god. What am I doing? We're finishing this bit. I've committed to it. I brought the things in the down here. I'm gonna finish this. I don't care. I am so sorry if this is cringe. I don't care. It's funny to me. Let's finish up. Going across the water. It breaches out. And then they try to shoot again. They miss. And it goes bam again. Shoot. That's fine. We'll get that later. It starts. Zora's like hanging off the edge. It goes, trying to get it. It doesn't work. She gets pulled back up. It goes back. She shoots again. She actually hits it. No. Why? And then they did it. It floats up into the air. He goes back under the sea. And then they catch it. And that is that whole scene. Really, really good scene. Absolutely love it. And look, this is the Bite and Blast Mosasaurus. As you can see, as I was saying, very good design. Doesn't have osteoderms. It does have these almost feature scale type things like Carnotaurus or Ceratopsians would have. Which, alright. Lips. That's important. That's a good one. Because the old one, I don't believe, had any. It had outsticking teeth. Tail fluke, not exact, of course. Does still have the little dorsal fin, and then rest of it is really just, I bent it. Rest of it is just like a straight thing, but it's fine. You open the mouth, still has pterygoid teeth, always great to see. Fortunately, does still have the normal tongue, as you can see. But, other than that, great design. Fantastic. Just like that, they think it's over. They did it. They got the specimen. And I want to say it's the next day when this happens, but they get closer to the island. They get closer. And little Isabella says, look, it's the things I saw from the boat. And then Henry's like, what are those? Oh, shoot, I got it in frame. Oh no. Spinosauruses! So now they're attacking the boat too. They're eating it. Mosasaur occasionally comes back in to eat it as well, because why not? That's a thing. Yep, yum, yum, yum. Oh, shoot, I keep breaking this boat. It's Lego, it's fine. It's not really broken. You can fix that anytime you want, right? Let's fix it right now on camera. Yeah. I'm, like, basically a mechanic. And now these guys are just gonna, like, sit in frame with me, I guess. They're not in frame with me. Shoot. Maybe if I tilt the camera down a bit. There you go. But now you can't see me. Yeah, I'm not hunching down like that. Let's put this back. There we go. That's more like it. Why did it get so dark? No. But yeah, that's the scene in all of its glory. The Mosa starts pushing them up against rock. I don't have a rock, so that part's not getting demonstrated. Mosa pushes them up against a rock, a cliff face rather, and then the boat shipwrecks. Teresa tries to call for help, but Martin Krebs, no, you can't do that, because we're technically being very illegal right now. So he lets her fall off the boat. Xavier and all the rest of the family dive in to save her, and then the two are separated for pretty much the rest of the movie. So now let's figure out what happens. They get on land. A Spinosaurus kills one of Duncan's friends. How sad that nameless person died. Yeah, Spinosaurus, I'm pretty sure, can camouflage, too. In this scene, it does, like, a thing where it camouflages. Yep, that's it. That's the end of that one. And then they head deeper into the jungle. And it's here where my memory gets a little bit fuzzy on the exact thing, so I'm going to skip over some of it, because a lot of it is just pointless dialogue that we don't really need to talk about, because it doesn't add anything to the story. It's not exactly exciting, and this video is already long enough. My guess is with everything cut out, we're at like around 25 minutes already, and I need to get going with this, because I've been recording for like 45 minutes as of right now, yeah, it's a lot of footage to edit, and oh boy, do I hate editing. It's not great. It's one of the reasons I've been gone for so long, is because I didn't want to edit. Did I just whistle? Anywho, that's one of the reasons I've been gone, is I don't want to edit, because I hate it. It's a horrible thing. It's this evil virus, okay? Yeah. So, once again, I'm going to try my best to remember what happens in the best order I can. Really not much happens, in all honesty. They get on the island. Yep. Martin Krebs gets a gun from a fallen helicopter. Whose helicopter was this? Don't know. We'll never know. They have a little talk about evolution and such. Henry makes the joke here, the sediment one, which was actually funny. You really just need to study the lore for 6 hours to truly understand this joke. It's such a good joke. Trust me, gosh. Yeah, the mercenary team only has 2 scenes after the Mosasaur part, really. Yeah. Yeah, after this little talk about the evolution stuff, yeah, then we cut back to the family, I'm pretty sure. They have a little talk. Xavier tries to be a better person. He says, I'm gonna take the night watch. I'm gonna build the fire. You guys go to sleep. I'm gonna take a pee real quick. And while he's doing that, the little Aqualops, Dolores, comes in, and Dolores is gonna be here throughout the entire film. Dolores, apparently I learned through some Googling, is the only... I thought there were 0 animatronics, but apparently there was a couple shots where Dolores was a puppet, but most of it was very clearly CGI. But yeah, that's one of the problems I have with this movie, is that the CGI it looks phenomenal. Gareth Edwards is the only person who you could have helm a Jurassic film, and have almost 0 practical effects, because he is so good with CGI and VFX and all of that. He's amazing with it. If you've ever seen Godzilla 2014, you know this. He did all the visual effects for his first film, Monsters, which is very, very impressive. Impressed. Amazing, dude. But yeah. Wish there was a little more practical effects, but it's not the end of the world, because it still looks great either way. But yeah, and then we get to the piss section, yes? This is so stupid. Xavier goes pee-pee, right? And in the background, Finally, the Velociraptors! They're here. Everyone's so excited. We're cheering. Kill this guy. No one liked him anyway. Velociraptor. It has one of the best designs in the whole series. Arguably the best. It's my favorite. My previous favorite was the male Jurassic Park 3 raptor, and the Rebirth raptor is just that, but with better color. So obviously it's going to be my favorite design. The Rebirth raptor is the best raptor design in the whole franchise, zero doubt about it. And it's truly, it's really good. It's the best from a non-feathered raptor. It's best of any dromaeosaur in the series, because Pyroraptor, despite having feathers, looks absolutely atrocious because they messed up the face very badly. And yeah, Velociraptor goes to take a pounce. And then down comes the Mutadon, ripping it apart and carrying it away. It's the only time it ever flies. Just remember that, because I'm going to have a complaint later about that. Mutadon killed the Raptors. The Raptors had 12 seconds of screen time in this whole movie. They'd never appear again. I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. I like this movie, but that made me sad. The lessening of screen time for the Velociraptor in the Jurassic franchise needs to be studied. Throughout the entire Jurassic Park trilogy, they were a constant threat most of the time, other than the Lost World, where they only appeared for one scene. But at least their scene was long and it was interesting, and you could they were very much still animals to be afraid of. Then in Jurassic World, they still killed a lot of people. They had a prevalent role, but you could train them and domesticate them, and they'd be like dogs, and you can make them your friend. Okay, not a great step in the right direction. Oh no, Fallen Kingdom, she's asleep. There's only one of them, and she's asleep for like half of it. And then she can still be your friend, so yeah. And then Dominion, she has a baby. She's gone after the first 5 minutes, okay. And then Rebirth, they appear for 12 seconds to just be killed and nothing else. I'd be surprised if in the next one there even is a Velociraptor. That would be shocking to me. But yeah, then I'm pretty sure we cut back to the mercenary group, and they've made it into the long grass. Long grass. Raptors? No. As I just said, that's the only screen time they get. But there is the Titanosaurus. And this is another amazing scene. All the dinosaur scenes in this movie are really, really good. They are some of the best in the whole franchise. They're amazing. The Titanosaur, despite not having the most accurate design ever, there's 0 osteoderms. They gave them the little retractable fins on the neck and the base of the tail, and the tail itself is that of a diplodocid, not a Titanosaur. But the design is not bad by any means. It's certainly a good design. It looks great. And this whole scene seems to be what I assume is basically a redo of a cutscene from The Lost World, where they were going to be caught in between two mating Mamenchosaurus. And I think that's what this is supposed to be. It's a redo of that. They're like, we need a distraction. And Henry's like, I got this, guys. And he runs up to the Titanosaur, he touches it. And I like how they have like little proto-feather type of things, like almost elephant hair. That's a cool touch. I like that. It was nice. And the Titanosaurs look, as I said, really good. The scene is beautiful. The music is amazing. And when they cut, like halfway through the music, they hit the John Williams theme. And it's not even like a quick little like motif, if you will. I don't know. It's not like a section that sounds like the original theme. It just straight up is the original theme. And I don't know why, but that hit me like a truck. That made me so happy hearing that. That was so good. And also in this scene, the Titanosaurs look huge. And that is because Gareth Edwards did a phenomenal job on this film. He's so good at conveying scale. Once again, if you've ever seen Godzilla 2014, then you know that it's great. And I'm going to keep referencing Godzilla 2014 because it's the best Godzilla film ever. And Gareth Edwards it's what made Gareth Edwards my favorite director. So when I saw he was directing this movie, that made me super excited. That was awesome to see. And he did what he did with Godzilla. He made the dinosaurs in Rebirth feel truly huge. Amazingly large. I'm not saying the M word because I know there's going to be 7-year-olds in the comments going, massive! Okay, where was I going? Yes. And then that's pretty much the end of the Titanosaur scene. A beautiful scene. Absolutely loved it. I love let's talk more about this actually, because the Titanosaurs do some cool things. They get together, like the male like flaps his little fins up and down, which looks really, really cool, and they like wave their tails around each other. And I'm so excited for Jurassic World Evolution 3, when the Rebirth DLC eventually comes out, because Titanosaurs will be in that, obviously. I'm like, the social animation has to be that. It would look so cool, like the tails whirling and twirling in the air. That makes me excited. That would be such a good animation. I can't wait. Yeah. And then that scene ends with Zora. They get the DNA. Scene ends with Zora looking out, and she's just like, "We got one more to go." And they see the Quetzes flying in the distance. Then we come back to the family, and oh boy, do we come back to the family here. They're walking through the island, and then they fall down a hole. And then they land near this river, and they see a little building on the other side. They're like, Teresa's like, all right, I'm gonna go to that. She wades to the river. There's a big dead Parasaurolophus. Unfortunate that Parasaurolophus only appears as a carcass in this film, but hey, I guess it's better than whatever the frick they did to the raptors. And this is pretty gory stuff for a Jurassic movie, at least in recent years in terms of a world film. This thing's like intestines and its heart, it's bleeding out, it's got a massive chunk taken out of it. It's really well detailed. Interestingly, it looks exactly like one of the Dominion parasaurs, which are the ones made by Biosyn, I'm pretty sure. But I don't really care. Like, the lore is not something I truly care about that much. I've focused enough on Five Nights at Freddy's lore. I don't care about anything else because FNAF lore has ruined everything. But yeah, Parasaur looks really nice still, either way. And as she goes into the thing, a bunch of, I think they're supposed to be the Neurognathus. They kind of look like bats, which, to be fair, Neurognathans in general do. Yeah, they fly out of there, and then she starts dragging the boat, the raft, across the dock. And as she's doing this, she hears a little squealing, and we know who that is. That's the Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaur comes out. It's unfortunately not an accurate size one. It's still the small one that they never got away from for some reason. It flares out the frill, but then it retracts it really quick, and it goes, uh-oh, and it scurries back into the jungle. And then she looks over, there's a sleeping T-Rex. Oh my god, this T-Rex looks so good. T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur of all time. Despite me knowing so much about paleontology and considering myself to be a big dinosaur nerd, T-Rex will always be my favorite dinosaur because it's just truly an impressive animal and it looks really cool. And this T-Rex design does the animal so well. It's always done well for the most part. And oh boy, did the design just kills it here. Easily the best T-Rex design. That's something you'll notice a lot for Rebirth. Rebirth may have the best dinosaur designs of the whole series. Maybe other than Jurassic Park 3 has some really good ones, but Rebirth has more accurate ones, which is what I really care about when I look for a dinosaur design. I like it when they're more accurate. The T-Rex looks so good. It's so much more bulky. No pronated wrists as well. The arms look also way more proportionate. They're not skinny at all. It almost looks like the lacrimal crests are enlarged. It and the colors on it as well. It is so good. But then the T-Rex can teleport. Yep. She opens up the raft, which wakes up the T-Rex. She pushes it down. T-Rex is gone. And as she's trying to row back to the rest of the family, the T-Rex starts drinking water behind her. Once they're all in, they've made too much noise, and the T-Rex notices them, and it starts running down after them into the river. And they're just like, okay, if we paddle far enough, we'll be okay. The T-Rex, like, as it's walking, I'm sure if you're an audience member who doesn't know much about paleontology, or if you haven't seen the trailers, you're probably thinking, okay, yeah, it's getting deeper. T-Rex is probably not going to be able to get them. But then it starts swimming, and it only swims for like a couple of seconds, but it looks really cool when it does. This is easily the best scene in the whole film. One of the best in the entire franchise as well, because it's so well done. All the visuals look amazing. The T-Rex design, as I said, is absolutely phenomenal. It's gorgeous. I love everything about this scene. It's so great. Yeah, and as it's swimming, it comes up in front of them and then like basically smashes the raft, and it just tilts it over and then like walks away. Then they then sees that there's still stuff wiggling inside of it, so like goes up and it like starts pawing at it almost with its feet. It like gnaws on it, not really biting, but just like playing with it. It's a puncture-proof raft, guys, because it was made out of Snickers bars. But yeah, the T-Rex also hunts down Reuben once it sees he's in the water. Tries to bite him. He makes it away, though. He gets through this little crack in the wall. Everybody does, except for Isabella, who's still inside the raft, and the T-Rex bites down. Oh my gosh, you think it's just eating the child. It hasn't. Don't worry. She's alive. Don't worry. The child... They wouldn't kill a child. No, nothing in Jurassic would ever kill a child. Right? But yeah. And it's through this rock that the T-Rex can't get through and it escapes. This scene is so good for so many reasons I've already said. Of course, this is taken directly from the original Jurassic Park novel, where the T-Rex chases down Alan Grant and the kids when they're in the raft, and it yeah, that's it. And another thing, despite me making fun of the fact that, like, obviously the kid character's not gonna die in the Jurassic World movie, where when it bites down on the raft and it's a fake out death, fake out as if nobody saw it coming, like, where it's a fake out death, actually, that was also taken directly from the novel. I'm pretty sure at one point in the book, they're all out of the raft, but Lex remains in it. The T-Rex bites down, and you think that Lex is dead, but she actually shows up again. Just a couple of sentences or so later. So yeah, that's actually lifted right out of the novels. That's Crichton's fault. You could blame him for not killing the child this time. But yeah, and I also love how the T-Rex acts just like an animal here. It's not trying to be intentionally malicious. It's not an evil creature. It sees this bright yellow thing with a bunch of little squealing things inside of it. It's like, huh, what's that? Because, like, it's never, like, really trying to hunt down anybody except when they're out of the raft. It's like, yo, food. But with the raft, it's just like, it's like tossing it around. It's pawing at it, as I said. It's, like, biting it, but it can't puncture it because Snickers. And, yeah, it's I just love the scene. It's so good. How much of this video was dedicated to the raft scene? I'm so excited to see. Put a time right here. Thank you, editing me. That was very kind of you. And then we cut back to the mercenary team to get their final piece of DNA from the Quetzalcoatlus. There's this really pointless line of dialogue for some reason. It was in the movie. Or, it was in the movie. Of course it was. It was in the trailer is what I meant to say. Where Loomis and Martin Krebs, they're talking, and he's like, for some reason Martin's like, do we have to get it from an egg? Why is that a problem? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what that was, and it was just for the joke. He's like, we could get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an X-16. It said X-16, I'm pretty sure. F-16 is what I meant. Just for that joke. Just for a Marvel quip. Which, you know, what are you going to do? It's modern Hollywood. You have to have funny jokes. But yeah, they scale the roof, and there's this, like, Aztec ancient civilization type of thing built into the side, and that's where the nest is. Yeah, and then they scale down the mountain, they go inside, and Loomis, as he's extracting the DNA, and, like, Sora's there for, like, protection, I assume. And he tells her, he goes, earlier in the movie, I completely forgot to mention this, I'm so sorry, guys. Earlier on in the movie, Loomis talks about, do you really want to give this to just this one big company? They'll make all the money? Why don't we open source it and make it so that everybody can have it? And she's like, shut your mouth, little guy. So, yeah. But then Zora starts questioning. He's like, who would we give it to if we didn't give it to Parker Gen X? He's like, everybody. Everybody. Absolutely everybody. We don't make any money. Of course not. But yeah. They get the DNA, and as they're trying to leave, one of Duncan's mercenary friends, he starts clinking on the side of the mountain. I'm not sure quite why. I think it was like nailed down a rope or something. I'm not sure. But he was clinking, and that summons the mother, right? And the mom comes in, and she starts protecting her babies. Yeah. Quetzalcoatlus design. Never got to that. I used to not like it. However, it's certainly grown on me. I do like the design now. However, the Dominion one is still infinitely superior because of its improved scientific accuracy over the Rebirth one. The Rebirth one still doesn't look bad. It's completely scaly for the most part, except for some quills on the back of its head. It's got like almost a hatchet beak. It's got a little crest on its beak as well. It's very intended to like look like an axe, right? It's got nice colors though. The blue and the orange looks great. So yeah, the colors and just the design itself isn't bad. That's what I'm trying to say. Just not as good as the Dominion one. In my opinion, it shouldn't have been Quetzalcoatlus. It should have just been Hatzegopteryx. Or, from what I understand, it was originally intended to be Thanatos Draken, which, also a great pick. Love that. That would have been cool. Cool. Awesome. But yeah, it wasn't. It ended up being Quetzalcoatlus for name recognition, which that one's actually fair. Like, nobody knows what Hatzegopteryx is unless you've played Jurassic World the game or you're a dinosaur nerd, or pterosaur nerd in this case. But Thanatos Draken, I haven't met a lot of people who are into dinosaurs who actually really know what the Thanatos Draken is, and I didn't actually learn about it until the DLC for Jurassic World Evolution 2 came out. And then I learned about it, and I learned that I can help us learn more about biology of Starkids, and I thought, that's a cool animal. So yeah, that would have been cool to have in there as well. Plus, it's named the Death Dragon. That's cool, right? Anywho, yep, that's design. It starts pecking at Zora and Henry ends up actually falling off, and so does the little DNA syringe that they poked into the egg. And yeah, Scarlet manages to hold Henry as he falls down. However, Henry actually falls all the way down. But don't worry, he's fine. We also get a Compsognathus here, just because why not? And also a Neurognathus is in this scene as well. You get a really good look at it. Also completely scaly because if you didn't know, David Koepp and both Gareth Edwards, I'm pretty sure as well, said that they don't think feathered dinosaurs are scary, which, Gareth, that hurt. That hurt real bad to know that a person like you would say that. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. It's unfortunate, but hey, at least we got quills, I guess. Because apparently those work. Apparently, I don't know. But yeah, Henry falls down. He falls into a river, so he's safe. But Leclerc, the Quetz actually ends up going outside because Leclerc hits it and it gets distracted and tries to crawl up after him. And then we get what might be the worst death in the entire franchise. In the entire franchise is stretched. Certainly in this movie, though. Like, it's crazy. Leclerc, or is it Leclerc? I'm not sure. I'm trying to pronounce things Frenchly, because this guy actually speaks French. So he is a French person. He speaks French, and I'm pretty sure his name is French as well. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's Leclerc. I don't care. I'm going to call it Leclerc, because that sounds cooler. Leclerc gets swallowed whole by the Quetz. And, like, the rope that he was holding onto at the top of the mountain is still, like, attached to him with the Quetzal. It's like the Quetzals, like, break it off while Duncan and Martin Krebs are getting attacked by the Quetz. It's really cool. And they escape by following the Neurognathus down into the temple, and then they find their whole way out and escape the Quetz. Yeah. And then that is the end of the second act, pretty much. And this is finally where, in the third act... Oh boy, the third act. The third act certainly exists. So basically in the beginning, they were told to follow the pipeline to a village that was in the center of the island. You get it, guys? It's a reference. Remember in the first Jurassic Park when Ellie and Ian were on the intercoms, he's like, follow the pipes to get to the power, and then they're also following the pipes. Do you remember, guys? Do you remember when they did that in the first movie? Do you remember? They follow the pipes down the village, and then they also see footprints from people. So they finally meet again, and then Teresa says to Martin, "You're the one who let me fall off the boat," and now nobody trusts each other. But oh boy, my favorite part of the movie, the Mutadons. Oh, yeah, I hate the Mutadons so much. The D-Rex already didn't need to exist. I don't like hybrids, except for the Indominus Rex. That was honestly pretty cool, and it worked once. But after that, the hybrids, you don't need them. And yeah, the Mutadon, the most annoying part is that, like, that could have so easily been Velociraptor. It could have, because they never fly. The only time they fly is to carry off the dead Velociraptor. They never fly. So you could have changed them to Velociraptor and would have changed nothing about the plot. And you know what's really sad? Is that there was like 30 seconds of cut footage where there were Velociraptors, where you could actually see the design clearly. But they cut it. Not sure why. They were going to do the exact same thing. They were going to come up, be like, Remember these? These are scary. You should be threatened by this. But then they run away because there's a scarier thing, right? Yeah, the Mutadons come in and everybody scatters. Martin and Zora get behind the Jeep. They're near a gas station, by the way. The family goes inside, they all hide, and a Mutadon, actually, another Mutadon, gets inside of the gas station. And you remember, guys? It's like the first movie for Jurassic Park. Do you remember when, like, the Velociraptors, they were in the kitchen, and they did the thing with the claws that went tippity-tappity-tippity? Do you remember? The Mutadon did that too? Do you see that? It's like a gas station, but instead of a kitchen, you remember, guys? Do you remember? And, like, and yeah, that's the movie. That's not the movie. What did I just say? The Mutadon is in the gas station, with Doritos, whose logos are from 2013 when this island was abandoned in 2010. So someone was restocking this after the D-Rex escaped because of Snickers. Maybe the Snickers overlords were like, come on, we gotta get our product placement even further. We got friends in the business operations to make good alliances with, alright? We can't be willy-nillying this, okay? We need to... Yep, I don't know where I'm going with this joke. But yeah, it does the thing. Isabella, the little one with the Aqualops, hides inside the freezer. The Mutadon gets distracted by a noise. They do the whole kitchen reference thing, and then they escape into the sewer. But the Mutadon from the outside, where Zora and Martin are, Martin steals the case with all the DNA in it, because he's greedy pharma man. Of course he's evil. What were you expecting? Yeah. And he drives off with it. Zora then gets down into the vent to help save everybody. And while they're doing that, Duncan and Henry actually manage to escape. And they're in the big lab from the opening of the movie. And they see the frozen Mutadon that was there in the beginning. And then they also see the big enclosure of the D-Rex, which is now, like, doubled in size. Pentupled. Is that a word? Pentupled, if you will, in certain shots. Yeah. Zora kills a Mutadon in the vents, and basically what happened was, I keep forgetting to, there were some minor plot points that get referenced later in the movie that I just forgot to mention. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, earlier in the movie, when the boat went down, Zora said something along the lines of, if our signal ever goes out, there's a rescue helicopter that's scheduled to arrive in, I think, 2 days? 2 days? It'll do a circle around the middle of the island for about 10 minutes, and then that's their only point. They'll assume we're dead, and they'll leave. And then the helicopter from what she said, is actually flying down now. And Loomis shoots a flare into the air to attempt to get his attention, but then the D-Rex shows up behind it. This honestly really cool shot, where, like, it hides all the deformed parts, so you just think, that's a big T-Rex. You don't think that. But, like, once you get it's a shot designed to be like, you've gone into this movie absolutely blind. Yeah. But then, like, the spotlight, it's coming closer. Then you see that it's actually the D-Rex with the helicopter in its mouth. And it's in this scene where the D-Rex is very clearly just Godzilla. Just that one shot, it throws it off to the side, it explodes. It's a really cool shot, honestly. Yeah. And that's our, not introduction to the D-Rex since we saw it in the beginning, but it's a much better introduction. Makes it much more threatening. Yeah. And then down in the vents, Zora actually kills one of the Mutadons. Oh yes. Spill its blood, that stupid hybrid. Yeah. And then they almost escape. They get to, like, the edge of the thing where there's a little boat that they can activate to escape the island. However, the D-Rex shows up. But luckily, the D-Rex gets distracted because earlier on, Martin, while he was trying to escape with the DNA, an Ankylosaurus gets in front of him. And since there's a pedestrian ahead, he has to swerve out of the way. And he ends up running straight into the D-Rex, where it smashes down on his car and bites him in half. Leaves the suitcase, though. What a gentleman. I just had a crazy revelation. The Ankylosaurus is the true hero of this movie. Had he not jumped in front of a moving vehicle to make Martin swerve out into the other direction to get eaten by the D-Rex, the rest of the world would have never gotten that heart disease. They'd have to pay millions of dollars to Parkergenics to get it if they really needed it. The Ankylosaurus is the reason that there's going to be hope. Ankylosaurus is the true hero of this movie. May we salute him. Then they have to escape. And then Duncan makes a sacrifice. He pulls out a flare and lures the T-Rex away. You remember, guys, in the first movie when Alan Grant stepped out of the car to try and get the T-Rex attention to save the kids, and then like Ian Malcolm got out and was like, "No, I'm gonna save all of you instead." So he did the flare to lure the T-Rex away, and then it was like a fake out death. Do you remember that? Yeah. Yeah. Duncan lures the thing away, the T-Rex back, and he dies. Such a good character. No, he's gone. Except no, he's not. There he is. He's alive. And they get onto the boat and they sail off into the sunset. Remember, guys, it's a reference because at the end of the first movie they did the same thing where they're going off into the sunset and the credits start to roll before the footage is actually over, and then that's the end of the movie. So now let's get to my overall opinions on everything. This was a good movie. Very good, I'd say. If I had to give it a ranking, I'd say an 8 out of 10. It was really good. Really, really fantastic. I loved everything about it. The characters were some of the best they've ever been since the original trilogy. The dinosaur designs may be the best in the franchise, probably. They all looked phenomenal. All of the dinosaur scenes as well, some of the best in the franchise as well, especially the river raft that's like top 3. There's a lot of good stuff in this film. The directing, the cinematography. They did shoot this movie on 32mm film camera? I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it's the same stuff they shot the original trilogy on. And you can really see it. The colors are so much more vibrant. That's also why I didn't get an IMAX release, interestingly. Which, what are you gonna do? What else is there to really say? I've been recording for over an hour at this point. I think I've gotten most of my points across about what I think of this movie. So I suppose what I should do then, let's get my ranking because I've never shared it. How do we want to do this? Do we start? Do we want to start from bottom and go to the top? Or do we want to go from the top to the bottom? Let's go from top to bottom because we know what top is. Like, I'm not going to act like you're anticipating something crazy. Top is Jurassic Park, easily the best film ever made, and without a doubt the best in the franchise. Of course, it's the best film ever made, so it has to be the best in this franchise. That makes sense, right? Jurassic Park up there, infinity out of 10 film, phenomenal. Right after that, The Lost World, a 10 out of 10. Another great one in my opinion. I absolutely love it despite most people's opinions. I just love it. It's really good. Then, maybe hot take, Jurassic Park 3 in third place. I absolutely love Jurassic Park 3. I like all of the original trilogies more than any of the world films. So yeah, just because the characters are better, no hybrids, practical effects look absolutely incredible. This is good. Easel Sorno as well. Then this is most definitely where I'd place Jurassic World Rebirth is right after that. Jurassic World Rebirth is by far the best of the world films. And it's not even close as well. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to tell you all the reasons. You've been sitting here for probably close to 50 minutes at this point. I'm not sure. We'll see how long this is when it's actually finished. You've been sitting here for a long time. That's the point. So you've heard all my thoughts. You know everything. Yeah, that's it. Jurassic World Rebirth. Then after that, probably Dominion. Hear me out. Dominion, I think, is better than the other two in the World Trilogy. That's for a couple of reasons. Number one, no hybrids. I don't like them. Then why is it below Rebirth? Rebirth is actually a genuinely good movie. Dominion, while better than the other world films, it's mid. That's what it is. It's middle of the road. Probably a 6.5 out of 10. No hybrids. Love the original cast return. Attempt at paleo accuracy for the first time, really, other than the original trilogy. First time in the World Trilogy, where paleo accuracy was at least attempted. I love the extended version. I'm specifically talking about the extended version. Theatrical version, which I haven't watched since it came out in theaters. That was the only time I ever watched it, and the rest has just been the extended. that's probably below the original Jurassic World. But yeah, for all those reasons, it having genuinely good dinosaur screen time, an interesting concept, which unfortunately was retconned by Rebirth. But you know, what are you gonna do about it? That's why I'd put them up. Then Jurassic World. Now, before I made this video, I wanted to rewatch Jurassic World just to make sure I actually like Dominion more than it. Yeah, I do. Jurassic World, at one point, was my favorite movie. When I was, like, 7 years old. However, upon rewatch, because I haven't rewatched it in a couple of months, upon rewatch, the characters are not great. I've just noticed that. They're really not. The only time my attention was grabbed was during the dinosaur scenes. And it's because of that that I put it lower than a lot of people do. Then at bottom of the barrel, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Atrocious movie. Why did such a great soundtrack have to go to this one? It's so sad. Get down in 7th place, where you belong. And that's my official ranking of the Jurassic movies from best to worst, technically. But worst to best, anyway, you get it. So yeah. That was my review after 3 months, I remembered this time, after 3 months of Jurassic World Rebirth's initial theatrical release, I finally made my review video. And that's why I thought, 8 out of 10, great Jurassic movie, great movie overall, one of my favorites. You'll enjoy this one, hopefully. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Sure, it has 50%, but they don't know anything. And on that note, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.